Absolutely. And I have seen it, and I'm sure we'll dive into it because in my work, I'm able to visualize how a person's brain performs. So, especially some of the people that I've worked with who have really anchored into their
Hmm.
faith and, what I always think of as kind of divine inspiration, those
Yeah.
people's brains can change faster. So, I know that to be true.
Now going back to like you saying that porn addiction hits the brain like drugs. Um, messing with dopamine and the prefrontal cortex. Maybe unpack that a little bit more for us, and even
Sure.
like go into how it's hijacking our God given wiring, and what's one step to fight back.
But when that system gets hijacked, and there's a lot of science that shows that porn hijacks it through dopamine and through opioids, painkillers. So, like when you're in a position like you're talking about in the military, you're looking for high levels of pleasure to escape and an internalized, kind of painkiller button that you can hit whenever you
Hmm.
need to take the edge off pain. We know this. So, that system, and we can mostly focus on that reward center and reward pathways. The reward center is in the midbrain.
Okay.
That's where kind of pleasure is processed through dopamine receptors, which become desensitized,
Mm.
fried for the easy way of understanding. When you go to high levels of dopamine from pleasure, when, if you're consuming porn or explicit matter, it's a super normal stimulus. It floods
Okay.
your reward center. The reward pathways feed forward to your prefrontal cortex and the frontal lobe. That's what makes us different from animals, right? Our
Hmm. Yep.
developed brain, the neocortex it's called, but executive function skills are up there, planning, organization, focus, working memory, social skills, socialization, impulse control, judgment. So when they become desensitized, those abilities no longer are being performed in a way that
Mm.
they would if your brain hadn't been hijacked. And the hijacking basically makes you go back for more dopamine because dopamine actually is characterized as the molecule of motivation more in pleasure. It motivates you back for more pleasure where you got it. And you know what that does? Now there's no pleasure seen in your work anymore.
Mm-mm.
You're off
No.
purpose. There's
Yeah.
not enough dopamine in your relationship. Satisfaction goes down. You don't want to be with your partner anymore because you want high levels of dopamine. Your hobbies don't do it for you anymore.
Right.
Life loses what it would have been for you if you didn't have that experience with porn. And that's the tragedy to me.